Will reach 34 degrees tonight. There will be a snow shower in the evening, then turning cloudy with a low of 27. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 36. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with a chance of light snow, accumulating a coating to an inch and a low of 23. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
From local sports to national newsmakers, this is the show everybody is talking about. Live from the Granite State, it's Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Hoss Show, powered by the Yum Shop on the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Danahan alongside Charlie Hossack. We are Mike and the Hoss. Dog back in studio. Charlie in his traditional spot. Yeah. I'm on location. I'm covering the national championship game.
Oh, I wish.
I didn't know if you guys knew that.
I wish.
This is a tax write-off trip for me, letting the accountants know.
Yeah.
So I'm in Miami, and it's nice to get out of the Northeast.
Yes. Especially today, Mike, because it is snowing. I mean, it's not a lot of snow, but it's snowing, and the roads were slippery, and yeah, it's winter. I don't want to say winter's back because winter hasn't left, but that winter's definitely back, and we're gearing up for the season of yuck, as I like to say. And you are in beautiful South Beach, where I'm sure it's sunny and warm.
It is, and I'm not kidding. We are covering the game. I'm not going to the game, but that doesn't mean I can't talk about it, right? And so I'm going to have to talk to the accountant about this one, because I'd like to see if we can write this trip off since we're doing the show. And we're covering the game, and that's going to be one of our picks today.
It is. Yeah. National championship game, which is great. And the nice thing, when we get to it later, I have moved positions, which makes me happy.
Oh, because of a potential injury? Oh, I see.
No.
Standings. Yes.
No,
standings.
in the standings.
Yes.
So.
No. Okay. Yeah. I follow you.
Yes.
We're not, I don't want to rub salt in the wound. Dog had a tough week last weekend. For various reasons. But he was sick last week, so maybe that affected his picks.
Yeah, I have to be careful now because I have to pick before Dog, which makes me nervous.
That's right. That second spot is a little bit more pressure on there, but it'll be interesting. It's a good football weekend because you have two games today. You got 2 games tomorrow. Then you have the national championship game on Monday night. Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of buzz around this national championship game that, maybe just because I'm down here, but it just feels like there's a little bit more. It's being played in the hometown of one of the teams. It's also the hometown of the starting quarterback, the Heisman Trophy winner of the other team. Yeah. There's some pretty good buzz going around about this. So anyway.
That's awesome. Have you bumped into, I know you just got down there. Have you bumped into some fans and stuff around?
The whole thing is that. That's great. On the plane down, everything. There's and that's what I felt at the airport, starting at the airport in Boston.
Yeah. That's exciting.
A lot of people talking about the game and going to the game. So,
all right. Good.
Although I don't know. I mean, do you see the prices of the tickets of these things?
I know.
Into these games, it's insane,
unbelievable. And then speaking of ticket prices, we had talked before about FIFA and soccer and stuff, and it's unreal, just unreal. I thought maybe they were gonna, lower the prices.
They're getting a lot of flack for it. Yeah. FIFA's getting a lot of heat for that one. And the problem, and FIFA's saying this, we did make tickets available, but it's that secondary and third market that is really jacking the prices up. They're buying up all the tickets, and then how do you control it?
It's interesting about ticket prices because I even looked. So we got like this little. I got an email about Fisher Cats, right? The Fisher Cats right there in Manchester. Love going to see minor league baseball, and you can get there's certain games have $6.03, right? $6.03 for New Hampshire. But then I looked at some of the other ticket prices. Man, we've been going to the Fisher Cats right for years and years and years, and now even the Fisher Cats. Our prices. I mean, they're not astronomical, but what you could get a $10 or $12 ticket are now like $25, $26.
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so
it's ridiculous.
It's still fun baseball, but that being said, you're still starting to price out people.
It used to be $6 to get into those games.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro. Can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread, and a full-service ice cream bar, and of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yumshop.com. While you're there, enter the discount code of Mike in the Hoss to receive 20% off the Gingy Box. Now you can join the conversation, 603-228-2080. That is 603-228-2080. And a big thank you to the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London for sponsoring our live stream on YouTube and Facebook.
Awesome.
Social media, Charlie?
Yeah, we are on X. We are on TikTok, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So give us a like, send us some comments. We like to interact with the listeners. And check out Mike in the Hoss on all platforms of social media.
All right. Opening takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order the $5 Mike in the Hoss penalty box during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. And Back Bay Boathouse is sponsoring today's trivia. So you want to check that out in our third segment. The number again is 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080. And thanks again to the Back Bay Boathouse.
I don't even, because I printed before I left,
Yeah.
Charlie, so I don't even know what yours is. Do you want me to go or do you want to go?
No, you can go because mine is a follow-up, Mike, to the to our OT this week.
Okay. So we talked last week about the coaching carousel and, what was going on. And there's another coach that dropped, Mike Tomlin. Dog, you had this called, by the way. You had some good inside information on this because you said last week that he was going to voluntarily step down, and you were spot on. You were spot on. And then, obviously, I think you had him going to the Giants, though, didn't you? Yes. All right, so.
But he's not going to go anywhere because you have to trade for him. By stepping down, he's still owned
for a year. Yeah, they have him for a year.
They control him for a year.
I'm not a Mike Tomlin fan, but if you take a step back and you see that in 19 years he never had a losing season.
Yeah, he
has a Super Bowl, and it just brought me around to the impatience in professional sports is getting ridiculous. But it's not. It's real. This is not just going to be in professional sports. It's really kind of mirrors what we have going on in life. And we see in youth sports, Charlie. Investments. Everybody wants to earn 20% a year. Even traditionally, if you got 8%, you were doing really well over a long period of time. You blame the teachers. We're in education. It's always the teacher's fault. It's never the student's fault. We blame the parents for something that could blame the boss, blame the head coach. And, in professional sports, there's 9 openings now, or there were 9 openings at one point, 9 turnovers of professional coaches in just the NFL. And you've got some coaches that have had a lot of success. In John Harbaugh had a lot of success. Mike Tomlin had a lot of success. You could even say Kevin Stefanski and what he was dealing with in Cleveland, the dumpster fire that was going on in Cleveland with the signing of, Deshaun Watson and, the turnover that they've had at quarterback. He's had a pretty good run, but no, it's not enough. And I think that, honestly, I think the Patriots are part of this problem because the turnaround that the Patriots did by turning over head coaches in a year and they go from 4 wins to 14 wins doesn't help this. But there's so much impatience. There's no rebuilding anymore. You are not allowed to rebuild. You need to have instant success as soon as you get there. Mm-hmm. And we used to see 3 and 4 year programs to rebuild something. You'd go from 4 wins to 6 wins to 9 wins, and then you arrive, and then you're an 11-win team, and you're a contender. Oh, no, not anymore. If you don't turn around immediately, then you are on the chopping block.
You're right. I just want to comment about that, about the Patriots piece. You're right, Mike. I mean, I think all 3 of us were like, okay, the Patriots are starting to rebuild. We had our picks. I mean, I think I was at 8 wins, and maybe you were at 9 wins. Dog might have been whatever, you were 7 wins, whatever. But we're thinking like just small increments. They're going to win a few more, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, they flipped the script completely. And here we are. They're playing, in the divisional playoffs this weekend.
And so you have another owner out there that sees what happened with the Patriots, sees what the Mike Vrabel effect, even though it was a lot more than that. Sure. But they link it to the Mike Vrabel effect, and they say, well, I want that for my team.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they're going to say, well, I'm going to turn the coach over, even though they owe him $50 million or whatever it is. They're still doing this, and it's not a good sign. Professional coaching, they better not buy a house. They better just be renting wherever they go, because they are going to be gone if they have a marginally bad season. Just a marginally bad season, they're going to be gone. Or if they don't turn around and have success immediately, they're going to be gone.
Exactly. Yeah, it's tough. Interesting thing though, when we talk about coaching carousel and coaches and the kind of the way society is now for that immediate success, right? We see this with our students, right, Mike? In instant gratification, they need that instant gratification, and if they don't get it, you can potentially like lose them. But that being said, the name that has not been mentioned in any of these is Bill Belichick. Like not even a word. When you think about how many openings there are, right? Before he took the job down in North Carolina, right? He was mentioned that he potentially could become the Giants coach, that type of thing. And there hasn't even been, like, if you read any of the press or listen to the talking heads or whatever, his name isn't even mentioned. He's like Voldemort of Harry Potter. You don't even mention Bill Belichick.
No, it's true. And now here's a question for you. If he would not have had that season that he had down in North Carolina this year, do you think that his name might have come up?
Possibly.
Possibly
that hurt. Yeah. Could his college coaching have actually hurt him?
He has a pretty big network of people that drop his name. And you see his name dropped in the Giants position. His name was dropped.
Yeah.
And
what about the Falcons? Look at the Falcons.
The
Falcons. They didn't hire him. The Falcons coach, and the Falcons coach is gone. And it's like, but you don't hear Bill going to Atlanta.
No, it's his reputation is so tarnished. It's so tarnished, and it didn't need to be this way, but it's self-imposed. I'm sorry. It started with the Joe Judge, Matt Patricia experiment. That's where it started. I thought that was a fireable offense when it happened. It showed that he didn't care about the norms at all. He was going to do it his way, and that was the beginning of the end. It wasn't the Brady thing. The Brady did not help. But him making the playoffs and even winning 7 or 8 games with Cam Newton, who couldn't throw the ball, kind of solidified that Bill still could coach. And then he made the playoffs with Mac Jones, and we see what Mac Jones is as a quarterback right now. He's certainly not, he's not great by any means.
Yeah, he's a solid backup quarterback.
And then it was the next 2 years. It was those next 2 years that just destroyed him and say, okay, maybe he doesn't. Not only does he not have his fastball anymore, he's not even reaching the plate. And then what he did in North Carolina and the decisions that he made with the girlfriend, it has not been a good 3 or 4 years for Bill. And I mean, if you were an owner right now, if you were an NFL owner, would you think about hiring Bill?
Probably not, but there's something I'm thinking about. Like, here's my wonder: are we in a situation where people are actually talking to Bill Belichick, and in a week or 2 or 3, all of a sudden Bill is going to become the next head coach of X team? I'm wondering. It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. It certainly could be something on the back burner. I mean, I'm still convinced that if Buffalo doesn't advance this weekend, that McDermott's out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, that would be a pretty good landing spot for him. Something in
I don't think I think that's a no-brainer. I think McDermott loses, McDermott's out. I was surprised. I was surprised Sirianni survived. They just fired the offensive coordinator. And I have to tell you, okay, fire offensive coordinator. But you know what? You know who the offensive coordinator answers to? Sirianni. Get rid of the problem. The problem is Sirianni, not the offensive coordinator.
Well, his relationship with AJ Brown is pretty scary too, because I don't know how they're going to coexist in the future.
Well, here's my fear is AJ Brown is going to become a New England Patriot. I mean, there's some talk of that, and then so now you're going to have. I don't know if I want AJ Brown on the New England Patriots. I mean, I think he's an amazing player, but I think he's also a bad dude.
Well, you would have said the same thing about Steph Diggs before this year.
Yeah, I did say that though. But
okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm glad Diggs is with us.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back with Mike Nahas on The Pulse.
No radio, no problem.
You can listen to The Pulse of New Hampshire anywhere. Just ask your smart device to play
The Pulse of NH.
Hi, this is Frank.
And this is Cheryl from Capital Craftsman and Romance Jewelers.
And we're here to talk diamonds.
There are so many options out there, and sometimes it helps to have some basic knowledge.
Absolutely. And whether it's natural, made by Mother Nature, lab grown, which contrary to popular belief, are not grown in a lab, they are made in a factory.
We know the idea of people in nice white coats watering diamonds in a neat little scientific lab sounds kind of cool, but it's just not the case.
Whatever you're in the market for when it comes to your choice of diamonds, Capital Craftsman and Romance Jewelers will guide you in the right direction. We offer loose and preset options of white gold, yellow gold, platinum, and silver.
If you're looking for engagement rings, earrings, necklaces, or bracelets, our options are virtually endless. And if we don't have them, we can make you a custom designed piece.
Capital Craftsman and Romance Jewelers, 16 North Main Street, downtown Concord. You can follow us on Facebook or visit us at capitalcraftsman.com.
We want to be your family jeweler.
Scott Lawson of the Lawson Group on standard operating procedures.
You should have standard operating procedures for any task, job, piece of equipment, machinery that you work on. And part of that standard operating procedure should be the safety requirements. And the safety requirements don't mean personal protective equipment and guards. It should be the training and education and tools that are required to make the product safely. And I always try to draw the conclusion for companies when we talk about this stuff to say, you don't do it for the name of safety. You do it for safety, productivity, and quality. Because all the behaviors that it takes to produce a lot of stuff with high quality are the same behaviors it takes to do it safely. Most companies just don't work that way.
So while I have you, do you have any quick kind of advice?
Think it through. You do it right the first time. You don't create a lot of scrap. You don't create a lot of waste. You're very efficient with what you do.
For workplace safety information on everything from indoor air quality and hazardous materials management to noise exposure, wellness consulting, and workman's comp, it's the Lawson Group. Go to thelawsongroup.com.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Coming up at noon, we talk tech with Jim Commando.
In the meantime, we're back to Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Yeah. Wolfsboro Road. Legends quick to late. Mike on the mic. Playing boss, Wolfboro on nights where the snow gets tossed. Talking
So
stocks.
welcome back to Mike and the Hoss in the 603. I know I get a chuckling dog on that one. 603-228-2080 if you want to join a conversation. Charlie, you want to continue? You have some thoughts from carry on from OT this week.
Just some thoughts, because I had some conversations of people that had listened to the OT, and we talked this week in OT. We talked about a couple things, but specifically we talked about the fight that had happened in between an AHL game up in Hershey, Pennsylvania, between two teams, and in between periods you had some kids playing hockey, 9-10-year-old kids playing hockey that turned into just an all-out fight. These kids were, as you know, you had said on OT, Mike, throwing haymakers, and goalie was flying in and hitting people in the back, and then even teammates started fighting their own teammates, and it just turned into this absolute pure chaos. It was like gladiatorial combat out there, where they were just beating on everyone. And we kind of brought up the point is what role does the NHL have in this? Because these kids are obviously emulating the people that they look up to, right? They're the role models, whether it's the NHL or maybe it's even college hockey. So I just had conversations with people. People were saying, what do you think? Should they get rid of fighting? And I said, well, Mike and I have talked about this before, and we think that fighting has a place in professional hockey, but we are in agreement that there's no place for fighting in youth hockey. So it's really interesting. It's one of those things where, like, can you say that this is my question for you guys. Can you say that there's still a place for fighting in professional hockey? And at the same time, it's almost like we're talking out of both sides of our mouth, saying, but you can't do it in youth hockey. So you're sending, what type of message are we sending, or it's not us personally, but is the hockey community sending? Can we have fighting, but then say kids don't fight? It's like, I don't know. It's like, can we say adults, you can smoke, but kids don't smoke? That type of thing. What are your thoughts?
You're right, Charlie. We're being hypocrites. And I still think there should be fighting allowed in in the NHL. I think it serves a purpose in terms of keeping the game regulated. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it is. The fighting actually calms games down from being too physical, from being too dangerous, because these guys are missiles going through the ice.
They are.
And just like any other sport, it's a star-driven league. And so if you got Connor McDavid that, guys are taking runs at Connor McDavid, that's going to hurt the overall brand of the NHL. So you need some sort of mechanism that protects them. And that's what the fighting is. As far as the youth hockey goes, there's not a place for it. There's not a place for it at all in youth hockey. And I think I would go all the way up. I saw there was a fight in college hockey the other day. The helmets came off and the gloves came off, and the refs were I think the refs were hesitant in breaking it up out of fear of injury. They didn't want to get
they don't want to get in the
involved
middle
with
of
that. But
hit.
it did go on for a little while until somebody went to the ice. And I can't remember the last time I saw a college fight where the helmets came off and the gloves came off.
Yeah.
So what happened in Hershey is despicable. It is absolutely horrible. And those kids, the kids should be suspended. And I'm sorry, there should be some sort of a consequence for what happened, because it left a bad mark, not just on their teams, but on the sport in general.
Yeah. I agree. I think with that, let me just jump in. I think you're right, Mike. I think that once that happened, the season's over. That's it. Pull the plug from those kids. They're not playing any more hockey this season. That's it. We're wrapping up wherever they're at in that season. They're done. They're done. This is unacceptable behavior. We don't allow this. It goes against everything that we teach as coaches on about hockey. So therefore, season is over, and maybe you can start fresh next year with a different team.
Yeah. Because those kids obviously they're misguided in what they think the sport's about.
Right.
And to have a bench clearing brawl in front of 3,000 fans during a fun skate in between periods,
right,
their priorities are seriously messed up. And the coaches and the parents, sorry, they're involved with that too, because that just doesn't happen on their own. There's got to be some sort of not necessarily encouragement, but allowment that's okay.
Yeah, agreed.
So anyway, either way, it was bad. Either way, no matter how you look at it, it was bad. And we talked about the social media comments, that there was a lot of social media comments is that, hockey's back and all that kind of stuff. And
hockey's back. 9-year-olds fighting. It's back. It's ridiculous.
That to me, when we talked about this on Wednesday, that to me was the worst, was the general reaction of the public in terms of it, that it wasn't like what we're doing, saying that we're lambasting it. No. It was some people said that was a good thing.
Yeah.
So, all right. I did a little exercise this week, and this is not organized or anything like that. I was just thinking about fan bases, and it started with the national championship game in college, and then it went to the NFL and so on. I'm just like, all right, if I was going to order the most passionate fan bases, positive or negatively, because there's some negative fan bases out there, but they're still passionate. What would it be? And so I put a list together, and I'm going to share this list with you.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to tell me if you are in agreement.
This is when you say passionate fan bases, this is professional and college, amateur, all that stuff.
Yeah, okay. I crossed all sports. I crossed all sports and all levels, just in general. My take, Mike Denny's take on what the most passionate fan bases are. Number one, I put the Philadelphia Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I find the Philadelphia Eagle fan base to be incredibly passionate to a dangerous point. I mean, there's safety concerns when you go to a Philadelphia Eagles game and you're wearing a Giants jacket.
They have to grease. They have to grease the poles and all that stuff.
Grease the poles. Yeah, there's a lot of things there in Philadelphia and I'm not condoning any of this behavior. I'm just saying that to a point of fanatical, the Philadelphia Eagles have a passionate fan base.
Mike, if I were to go to a Philadelphia Eagles game in Philadelphia, I would make sure that I had nothing that represented any other team. All right. And I would make sure that when I spoke to people, I didn't at all sound like I came from the Northeast. So from New England.
I would probably go as far as purchasing an Eagles sweatshirt on the way in, just to make sure my safety.
You're safe. Yeah.
Number two, I have the Green Bay Packers. So, Dog, this is one for you. I think Green Bay has a very unique place in terms of passion for fans. Now, I would say that this is not a different kind of passion than Philadelphia. This is more biblical and religious in Green Bay. They're not as fanatical, but Green Bay Packers fans are Green Bay Packers fans for life. And usually that stems through the family, generations and generations.
It is. That's right. Exactly. Generational loyalty. Oh my
Would you,
gosh.
are you guys in agreement with my first two?
I'm all in. I think Philadelphia, and I actually created a list, Mike. So I agree. Philadelphia would be number one. And I had Green Bay. How about, the fact that it's a small market team with this massive following, the generational loyalty, the
public ownership,
community ownership, and then the legendary. I haven't been to Lambeau yet, but the game day dedication, and it could be 25 below zero, and the cheeseheads are there. It's just amazing.
We talked about dome stadiums and how, in 4 years there's more stadiums are going to be dome than that are going to be open. Do you think Green Bay ever puts a dome on that thing?
No, I don't think so. How can you? That would take away that. You talk about tradition. You can't get rid of that tradition.
All right, my next one's Montreal Canadiens.
Oh.
And if you've been to a Canadiens game, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's an event. It's people dress up for it.
Yeah.
There's fur coats, there's suits, it is not a typical NHL game. When you go to a Canadiens game, it's like going to the Met Gala. It's something else. So I get the Montreal Canadiens as number. Plus all their titles, and they had a monopoly of the Canadian players throughout the mid 1900s. But
I just
the
feel
Montreal
like
Canadiens.
I have this vision, and I know you can't do it anymore, but I have this vision of people in fur coats dressed up with like top hats, smoking long cigarettes.
Yep, but that's exactly what it is.
As they're
that's
enjoying,
exactly what it is.
Enjoying some hockey. I'm going to disagree a little bit. I'm okay with the Montreal. I put the Boston Red Sox ahead of the Montreal Canadiens. With the Red Sox, with the, obviously the decades of history, tradition, the emotional investment of us Red Sox, the Red Sox fans. We're high, we're low, we're mostly low, sometimes high, high, obviously the past 20 years or so. But you got Fenway. As much as I rag on Fenway, Fenway Park is iconic and all of that stuff. So I put the Red Sox just a little bit above the Canadiens, but I'm right there.
Okay. My next one is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team. That's a love them or hate them.
Yeah.
And if you love the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, then you don't care who hates you. You enjoy that. That is similar to Green Bay, and that is a religious experience. Obviously, with Notre Dame.
You got touchdown Jesus.
Yeah. So Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Then I had the Red Sox. I had the Red Sox after Notre Dame.
Okay. I don't disagree with Notre Dame. I'm okay with Notre Dame. And, we have a good friend, Mike, that's a huge Notre Dame fan and passionate. And it's true. And if it doesn't matter if you say anything bad about Notre Dame, you're going to be verbally attacked. And, I love the passion of the fans, the Irish fans. I did throw something in there. So I didn't have Notre Dame, but I actually threw in the University of Alabama. There's just something about Alabama. I don't know if you've ever been down. I've been down to Tuscaloosa, and there's just something about the passion of the Alabama fans. And that runs generational as well. If you're an Alabama fan, and think about it, and I don't want to diss on Alabama as a state, but there's not a lot going on in Alabama. So you've got your Alabama football, and they are passionate and intense.
I was thinking about Alabama, and then I said, well, I really should just put any SEC school. Any SEC school is going to be it's pretty passionate. But my next one after the Red Sox, and a friend of ours will appreciate this, I have the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
When it comes to passionate fan bases, it's hard to match anybody. Now, they're not violent in terms of like the Eagles fans are. I don't think you have to fear for your safety, but if you don't want to bring a table to a game because table's not going to make it out of there. They're lighting crap on fire. They're just, there's a lot of neat things going on in Buffalo, but that fan base will follow that team and go through a brick wall for them. Yeah. And, that's why, Josh Allen right now is an absolute legend up there. Why Jim Kelly's a legend. Imagine if they ever actually win a Super Bowl.
I know. I know.
They're going to be statues everywhere for these guys.
Anytime I think of Buffalo, I think of like the 55-gallon drum that's on fire. And I'm like, and the people are warming their hands. They're going to break a table. They're going to, drink alcohol, and they're just going to have a blast. Doesn't matter what the weather is. Other thing, the Josh Allen thing you just mentioned. I don't know if you just saw the recent thing. He visited Children's Hospital, and it's circulating there in social media. And one girl, who was very sick, wanted to meet Josh Allen, and just the interaction. It just like I do like Josh Allen. There's something about him. He seems to be a really good human, and the way he interacted with his family was awesome. So this is it, Mike. I think, and Dog, if Buffalo doesn't do it this year, they're not going to do it. So this is their year.
Well, and I'm fearful for Buffalo when it comes to Josh Allen, because I fear a trade request is coming.
Yeah,
and it's not because he doesn't like Buffalo or anything like that, but we talked about this previously. He married Hollywood, and when you marry Hollywood. You tend to go out that way, and watch out for the Raiders.
Right.
All right. We're running out of time, Charlie. Do you have any other ones that you want to put on there?
I don't want to put any other on there, but I do want to talk about New Hampshire Sports was brought to you by Bailey's Bubble. Family owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state, May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you.
All right. When we come back, we're going to have trivia brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse.
News, information, and discussion. This is 107.7 WTPL.
Sear Lumber & Warner is your go-to hardware store for winter. Conveniently located just off Exit 7 on I-89. Swing on in and grab your New Hampshire winter needs. Grab a bag of ice melt or rock salt. Pick up a new shovel and roof rake for removing heavy snow and protecting your vehicles and home. Have a wood pellet stove? Sear Lumber has hardwood pellets available with free delivery for 3 or more tons. It's never too late in the season to replace drafty doors or windows. Sear has top-of-the-line Therma-Tru, Masonite, TrustGuard, and Anderson products that are sure to save you on your heating bills. For contractors and homeowners, Sear Lumber offers free estimating services. So if you have a project and need a professional estimate, Sear Lumber is here and ready to help you set that project into motion. And don't forget, your Sear Lumber location in Warner is a fully stocked Ace hardware store for all your home project needs. Just off Exit 7 on I-89, open 7 days a week, and online at SearLumber.com.
Hey, this is Mike Dene alongside Charlie Hossack from Mike and the Hoss.
You know what I love about getting away to the coast? That fresh, clean feeling.
What if you could get that feeling anywhere? That's what drinking Maine Love water is like.
It's true. It's sourced from pristine Maine water, and you can taste the difference. It's so crisp and refreshing, and it comes in recyclable aluminum cans, not plastic.
Whether you choose their pure water or their feel-good flavored seltzers, you're getting simple, sustainable, feel-good hydration.
That's Maine Love. Bring that clean Maine feeling home with you.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse. Your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel, and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in touch with the show anytime at thepulseofnh.com and on the free-to-download Pulse of NH app. Now, back to Mike and the Haas on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike on the mic, Haas playing boss. Wolf Corridor nights where the snow gets tossed. Talking socks, pats with a swagger of fuss. Dedicated dads, coaches, no loss. The fields to the ring, they know every.
All right, welcome back to Mike and the Haas, 603-228-2080. And you need that number for trivia today.
All right, trivia today is sponsored by the Back Bay Boathouse. All sorts of great things going on at the Back Bay Boathouse. They've got their wings, they've got their prime rib. Mike, last Sunday, I had the soup flight with grilled cheese. Incredible, incredible. So check them out at the Back Bay Boathouse. Thank you for sponsoring today's trivia. What iconic racing event is traditionally held each year on the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend? What iconic racing event is traditionally held each year on the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend? If you know what this racing event is, 603-228-2080, 603-228-2080 for a chance to win a gift card to the Back Bay Boathouse.
So let's talk about one of our picks this week is going to be obviously the college playoff national championship game, in addition to the other 4 games that are going to be happening in the NFL. We mentioned at the top of the show, there seems to be a decent amount of buzz for the national championship game, which I'm certainly feeling.
Yeah.
And what kind of surprised me though, because we've talked about, incessantly about the transfers and how the players, even Mendoza, the Indiana quarterback, the Heisman Trophy winner, he's not a Hoosier the whole time. He would transfer from Cal.
Right.
But did you know his younger brother's the backup quarterback?
I did know that. Yeah, that's a good story.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Before we do that, Scott from Bow has an answer for trivia. Scott, what do you got?
The Indianapolis 500.
Yes, Scott, you are correct. You have won a gift card to the Back Bay Boathouse in beautiful Wolfboro. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for calling in, and enjoy the meal at the Back Bay Boathouse. And don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Haas sent you. Thanks again, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome.
So, getting back to the game, being held in a city that has the team playing in it, I think is contributing enormously to it. And we know, when we're talking about passionate fan bases, we could have easily put down the Miami Hurricanes as one of those passionate fan bases.
Sure, absolutely.
You know who I went to put down? The Indiana Hoosiers football team. I would have put the basketball team, but I would not have put the football team down there. So I think that there's kind of a whole bunch of things that are coming together. Besides Mendoza being from Miami, that's a huge part of it too. He went to Christopher Columbus High School, down the road over here. There is some good hype. I'm not sure if it's going to be much of a game. I don't know who you're planning on picking. I know who I'm picking, and it's kind of a no-brainer. So let's get right to it. I think it's Indiana's year. I think they have the Heisman Trophy winner. They showed what they dominated at, in the previous games. I don't think anybody's really played a close game with them this year. So I get the Hoosiers going to win the national championship.
Yeah, and I think having Andrew Cartier on the show last week, he knows college football quite well. He kind of alluded to that as well, that this is Indiana's year, and they kind of, if you look at the matchups between Indiana and Miami, Indiana has the edge pretty much in every category. So my pick for the national championship game are the Indiana Hoosiers. Dog?
I don't want to pick Indiana, but I'm going to have to pick Indiana because they just this is a basketball school. Well, now they're proving people that no, we're going to be a football school too. And the amazing just turnaround that they've had over these last couple of years with Cignetti as the head coach.
Yeah.
And you've got Mendoza as the Heisman winning winning quarterback. I know it's in the I get it. I understand. I do. It's the all Adidas Bowl, by the way, as well. Both schools are Adidas.
Yes.
So you're going to probably see ad nauseum spots of that, but I think Indiana is going to win this one.
But it's not even. I forgot my train of thought, so I won't even go there.
I have a train of thought though. Dog mentioned Cignetti. He wins the national championship? Does he jump to the NFL?
These guys make so much money in college now. I don't think the draw is there as it once was, and they're basically running an NFL program. That's where I was going to go with. that if you look, Indiana is flush with transfers. These are not kids that were recruited there out of high school. These are kids that were signed from other schools. And we talked about Belichick doing it. Belichick built a front office basically at North Carolina. It didn't do very well, but they built a front office. That's what these schools have. They have general managers. They have everything. So yes, good coach, but is he a good recruiter, or do they have a good general manager? And I think that there's a difference now.
Here's a question for you, though. So taking a look at Bill Belichick, you're right. He built that front office. They didn't have a lot of success this year. If he stays at UNC, will he have success in the years to come? Will people say, oh my gosh, you know what? I do want to work with I want to, work, or I want to play for the legendary Bill Belichick. Will that draw come if he can provide the NIL cash incentives?
I think there's too much instant gratification needed from these players now to endure the world of Bill Belichick. I don't see it happening. Yeah. I don't think he's going to get those top blue chip players.
Yeah,
that have choices. I don't think it's going to happen at all. So we're all Indiana. So I don't even know if we need to include that in our list. Of win or lose, nobody's going to be changing any a game. Quick moment before we go to break on the Celtics playing well. And then, did you catch the Bruins, the Chara retirement, the jersey retirement the other night?
Yeah.
That was a top-notch show that the Bruins put on for that one. That was, talking about checking off all the boxes, bringing back the history, bringing back the players, well-spoken players, making sure the fans were involved, creating drama in the game. Spot-on job by the Bruins. And I think that it's very deserving of that. So my question to you, who's the next Bruin to get retired?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, that's an easy one. You got to know this one.
I have to know this one?
You know, this is an easy one, Charlie. This is Bunny. It's a Bunny.
All right, I don't know.
Recently retired.
I don't know. Who is it?
Bergeron.
Okay.
Bergeron. It's gonna be like no doubter that I don't even think they're gonna wait. I think they're gonna. I mean, they waited Chara probably because he played elsewhere for a little bit, but I don't think they're gonna wait for Bergeron. I think that he's gonna be up there probably next year. It's going to be close, but I think the Bruins have it. Here's a question though, before we go to break. I looked when we were at the Bruins game the other day. I looked up at the roster as all the Celtics numbers that are up there.
Yeah.
And what happens when they run out of numbers? I mean, it's a serious question. You retire so many numbers that there aren't any available. Dog, you have an answer for this?
Yeah, what they're going to do eventually is they're going to have to ask the family of let's say that the person's deceased, right? They're going to ask the family if they could of the player that's deceased, if they can wear that number, or there's a chance that a player was in the NFL or NHL, wherever, right, was long, sees that a new free agent acquisition comes in and wants that number, says, okay, you know what? I want him to wear the number 4. I want him to wear the number 11. I want him wearing the number 12. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So before we go to break, Mike, I just want to let you know the Celtics, second place in the East. They're at the Atlanta Hawks tonight, 7 p.m. pregame, 7:35 tip-off right here on the Pulse of New Hampshire. And then the Bruins, Mike, I think they've won 6 of their last 7. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're playing. They're playing well, and they were down and out. We thought they were going to be done, and now they're back in the mix again.
Yeah.
You can't afford to go on much of a losing streak. The way that the Atlantic Conference is the Eastern Conference rather is put together. All right, we're way over. We're going to come back with our NFL picks for the weekend.
107.7 WTPL, the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Hi, Jack Keith here, inviting you to join me on October 25th for a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette Travel. From the historic cities of London and Edinburgh Castle to the English charm of Chester, medieval York and York Minster, the lovely Stratford-upon-Avon, and of course London. Along the way, we'll board a train and travel through the rolling hills and even enjoy a traditional English afternoon tea. Colette handles every detail, your flights, your meals, hotels, and local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life. So don't miss out. Join me by calling Colette at 800-581-8942 or visit thepulseofnh.com to learn more. And Colette's number again, 800-581-8942.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Kevin from your local Budget Blind, and it's time to dress up your home.
How do we do that, Kevin?
Simple. Call your local Budget Blinds and schedule a visit with one of our certified designers. They'll show you how a balanced top treatment or side panel can make a dramatic difference to any room.
Or upgrade to beautiful Roman shades. They look amazing and add insulation to your windows.
As North America's largest custom window treatment retailer, Budget Blinds offers thousands of fabrics with good, better, and best pricing options.
Contact us today for your free in-home consultation. Every shade includes our exclusive 5-year, no questions asked warranty.
From blinds and shades to shutters, drapes, and motorized window coverings, we're your local automation expert.
Get started now. Text blinds to 78,000.
As blinds to 78,000.
For blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, and motorized window coverings, shop Budget Blinds. Text blinds to 78,000.
Hey, this is Mike Dene alongside Charlie Hossack from Mike and the Hoss.
You know that feeling when you take a sip of water and it's just perfect?
That's the Maine love feeling. We're talking about water sourced from the pristine Sebago Lake in Maine. It's hydration that just hits different.
And it comes in these sleek, recyclable aluminum cans, not plastic. Whether you want crisp, still water, or bubbly flavored seltzer, you're getting that clean Maine taste.
Forget the plastic. Feel the good vibes. Reach for Maine love.
Bring that clean Maine feeling home with you.
Why be at the forefront of childhood cancer research? At St. Jude, we do it because every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you. Help St. Jude give children with cancer more moments. Moments that can last a lifetime. Learn more at stjude.org.
You're listening to the Granite State's own Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss, Sports Talk Classics in New England. Magic broadcast fantastic. Wolf aboard a crew where the echoes scream. Fathers, coaches, chasing the dream.
Our fourth segment on Mike and the Hoss is brought to you by Maine Love Water.
Mike, we love New Hampshire, but let's be honest. Maine water just hits different. Maine Love Water and seltzers are sourced from pristine Maine water. And they're, of course, a sponsor of our show, and more importantly, a sponsor of this segment. We love it. We love Maine Love Water. If you're reaching for a can of water or seltzer, give Maine Love a try. We love it, Mike. Our families love it. It's just it's delicious. And you have the nice sleek cans. It's good stuff.
All right. Last week, our beloved Patriots, they won their playoff game. And you and I had that, Charlie. We thought the Pats were going to win. Dog had the Chargers. But how do you feel about them after the game? I mean, do you like how they won the game? Do you feel more confident? Less confident moving forward? Where is your confidence level at this point?
Well, going into the playoffs, I actually didn't have any confidence, and I still don't have any confidence. They got out of last week's game with a win, so they did what they needed to do to get a win. But at any moment, it could have gone another direction. The Chargers easily could have won that game. Going into this game, I have zero confidence. They're playing the number one defense in Texas. That being said, can they sneak by and get a win? I think they can. It was interesting. I was talking to a good friend of the show who's a legendary football coach back down at Sauhegan. He coached, and he he's feeling like, his comment was, they can win, but what they're going to need to do, they're going to need to take those 3 points when they get them. They're going to have to just kind of chip away here and there. That he doesn't feel like this is going to be any type of game that's just going to be like offense and all sorts of high scoring stuff. It's going to be an opportunity. If you have a chance to kick a 48-yard field goal, take that chance and go for it.
This is as 50-50 game as I've seen in a little while, based on who you talk to. Although did you catch the NFL Live crew on ESPN?
Yeah.
That every one of them picked the Texans. They didn't know that they were going to pick the Texans, and every one of them picked the Texans, which basically guarantees a Patriots win. But it was kind of interesting. So, all right, let's get to it. These are our 4 games. I feel confident about 3 of them. One of them I do not feel confident about. So I don't know what that's going to mean.
Really? You feel I want to talk about. We're going to talk about it. You feel confident of 3 of them. Interesting.
I do.
Okay.
So the first one is this afternoon. The Bills are visiting the Broncos. Broncos, the number 1 seed. Josh Allen, Bills. We said it's his year. I have the Bills going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. So I've got the Bills winning this one.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. This is the Bills' year. Josh Allen, he's going to work some magic. I don't believe in Denver. Buffalo Bills all the way.
Dog.
If the Bills don't do it this year, they never will. Buffalo Bills.
Now, saying that, I have more confidence if the Patriots win of them going to Denver and winning than winning against the Bills at home. So,
yes.
But I think the Bills are going to win this one. All right, the other game today is the Seahawks the 49ers at the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And Charlie, you had a little bit of breaking news this morning before.
Yeah, Sam Darnold, they still haven't made the decision as of right before the show. I mean, he injured his oblique muscle and hasn't thrown a football since Thursday. They're saying he's probably going to be a go, but he's going to be a go. But clearly, there's some pain, some injury. This could be a game changer.
Maybe that's a little rope-a-dope doing by the Seahawks to just throw the 49ers off a little bit. I have to ignore it. I'm going to, George Kittle being out for the 49ers. Yeah. I think that's a big difference maker for them. So I've got the Seahawks winning regardless of the injuries.
Okay. This is where I'm going to pick with my heart. And I feel like Brock Purdy, baby, he's going to do it. And you got Christian McCaffrey. 49ers get a win in Seattle.
Dog.
They've lived dangerously for far too long, and I think this is the end of the road. That stout Seattle Seahawks defense that we have not talked about yet until just now will put the Seahawks over the top into the NFC Championship game.
Right. The game that I'm not confident about is the Bears-Rams game. So the Rams, West Coast team, going to be traveling across the country, middle of the country. They traveled across the country last week. It's supposed to be 10 below. I don't like the Bears. I don't like Caleb Williams, but I'm picking the Bears on this one. I think the weather's going to be too much for Matt Stafford.
Dog always says the Rams look super. Well, you know what? It's going to run out, dog. Not this time. Not in Chicago. Chicago is going to beat the Rams, and Matthew Stafford will be second place in the MVP vote.
Dog.
You couldn't be more incorrect. The Los Angeles Rams will continue to look super. Weather doesn't matter. The X Factor guys is Devontae Adams, who used to carve the Chicago Bears with the Green Bay Packers. He will own them once again. The Bears defense is not very good. You got to remember that. They've had to pull these magic tricks out with the offense. Eventually, that magic's going to run out, and it's going to run out in bitter, brutal, cold weather. I'm taking the Rams in Chicago.
I don't think the Rams even get out of the bus. All right. Our last game was obviously the Texans are visiting the Patriots. I think it's going to be a nail biter. I think the Pats, they're favored. Pats are favored in this. Vegas knows. I'm going with the Pats.
Vegas knows, but I'm going to have a hard time picking the Patriots. I think the Patriots playoff run ends tomorrow. I have the Texans over the Patriots by 3 points.
Dog.
I got the Texans. They've won 10 in a row. I know Nico Collins is hurt. However, Drake May was pulling a Brady with this. I got to play better. I think he's just telling himself that mentally because he played relatively well. However, Will Campbell, you got to get protection for this guy, for Drake May. And I think they're going to be in his face all day. And I think the Houston Texans are for real. I'm taking the Texans.
I think Josh McDaniels is going to dial it up he's going to put something together. Nobody in this game has more experience than Josh McDaniels. Remember that.
That's true.
Nobody in this game. This is like his 22nd game that he's called for the Patriots as an offensive coordinator in the playoffs.
Yeah. And either way with this game, I'm going to be happy because I get to stay ahead of dog. So if the Texans win, I'm okay. But if the Patriots win, no problem.
Well, based on these picks, we could have a lot of movement in our standings.
Yes, we could.
This is a good one, and I know
as it should be. As
some
it should
of us
be.
need it. Dog.
Poll question.
Yes.
Oh, please, yeah, hurry up.
Yes. Monday night national title game. Who you got? The U, Miami, or Indiana? It's at the Pulse of NH on X.
All right. I think we all said that it was going to be a Indiana. Potentially a rout. I mean, I know Miami's defense is really good, but watch out. Hey,
Bye, everybody.
thank you for listening. Catch OT on Wednesday, Mike and the Hoss, and obviously we'll be back next Saturday at 11 a.m. on the Pulse of New Hampshire.